Diego de Vargas Reconquest. Major engagements. New Mexico. The return to Santa Fe, September 13th to 14th, 1692. Vargas arrived at the abandoned capital with a small force of soldiers, settlers, and Franciscan priests. He found it occupied by Pueblo people. Through a combination of diplomacy, shows of force, and the presentation of a cross and an image of the Virgin Mary, Our Lady of the Rosary, La Conquistadora, he convinced the defenders to surrender peacefully. Outcome: Spanish victory, bloodless. Vargas reclaimed the capital without a fight and received pledges of submission from numerous Pueblo leaders. Participants: Spanish colonial forces and Pueblo people of Santa Fe. New Mexico. The Second Siege of Santa Fe, December 29th to December 30th, 1693. Vargas's large colonizing group arrived to find Santa Fe again occupied, this time by a coalition of Tano, Tewa, and Picuris warriors who had fortified themselves. After a demand for surrender was refused, Vargas launched a direct assault on the fortified town. Key action: the Spanish scaled the walls under fire on December 30th. Fierce house-to-house fighting ensued. Outcome: decisive Spanish victory. After a brutal fight, the Pueblo defenders surrendered. About 70 warriors were executed, and 400 women and children were taken as captives and distributed as servants to the colonists. Repartimiento. Combatants: Spanish colonial forces against Pueblo Confederacy. New Mexico. The storming of the Black Mesa, first Pueblo stronghold, winter to spring 1694. Following their defeat at Santa Fe, hundreds of Pueblo refugees and warriors fortified themselves atop a steep, fortified mesa, likely near San Ildefonso. Vargas laid siege to the stronghold. Outcome: Spanish victory. After a prolonged siege, the defenders, suffering from thirst and starvation, surrendered. Combatants: Spanish colonial forces against Pueblo refugees and warriors. New Mexico. The Battle of the Second Mesa, the Aztlalacua Campaign, summer 1694. This was the final, decisive military action of the Reconquest. Pueblo resistors from several villages, primarily from the Carrizon Pueblos of Cochiti, San Felipe, and Santo Domingo, established a formidable fortress on a high, sheer-walled mesa known as Aztlalacua or Old Cochiti. Key action: on July 24, 1694, Vargas's forces and their Zia Pueblo allies located a steep trail to the summit. In a surprise dawn attack, they scaled the mesa and stormed the fortress. Outcome: decisive and brutal Spanish victory. The surprise was complete. The Spanish killed hundreds of defenders, estimates range from 200 to 500, and captured the rest, destroying the last major center of organized resistance. Combatants: Spanish colonial forces against Pueblo resistance forces. New Mexico. Pacification campaigns, late 1694. After the victory at Aztlalacua, Vargas conducted a series of marches throughout the Pueblo world to intimidate and secure the formal, if reluctant, submission of the remaining villages. Outcome: Spanish victory. By the end of 1694, Spanish authority had been forcibly re-established over the Pueblo region, though resentment simmered and would flare up in future revolts. Combatants: Spanish colonial forces against recently subdued Pueblo nations.